This is the McShay Show presented by FanDuel, and college football Saturdays are already delivering. Every game means something right now. Rankings shift, upsets hit, and the best place to stay on top of it all? FanDuel. Whether you're riding a noon kickoff or betting the late games, FanDuel lets you bet it your way. Same game parlays, live betting, player props, alt lines, whatever your angle is, it lives in the app. So if you're watching the action, bet on it with FanDuel. So download the app or head to FanDuel.com/McShay and make every Saturday count. The Ringer is committed to responsible gaming. Please visit rg-help.com to learn more about the resources and helplines available. And listen to the end of the episode for additional details. Must be 21 and older and present in select states, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. It's a 5-course chef's tasting menu in college football this week. It's a special slate, and it's also a special show. Live from Chicago, Lincoln Hall, with my main man, Steve Muench. Just 224 days until the NFL draft. Muench, you good?
I'm good, man.
Let's roll it. Well, the day is finally here. I'm fired up, man. They haven't let the crowd in. You starting to get nervous?
A little bit nervous. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, packed house, Lincoln Hall, Chicago. This is an exciting show for us. But listen, before they let everyone in, we had to do a pre-show because this is one of the best slates you could ask for as a college football fan. And there's some appetizers to it. I mentioned it's a 5-course tasting menu. The chef is just bringing out his best stuff for us. We've got 5 unbelievable games in the slate. So before we get to the live show, and everyone stick around on this show for us and be able to watch the interaction with the fans, we've got Big Cat from Barstool coming in, and we got a special show today and tonight lined up. But I wanted to go through these games and get some picks, okay? So here we go. First game of the week, I'll start with you. Georgia at Tennessee. What do you got?
Not sold on Georgia. I want to see more from Gunnar Stockton and see if it's just a mirage, the early start. That said, Georgia has won the last 8 games of between these two teams. Give me the history, give me the C.J. Allen-led defense, and give me Kirby Smart. I'm taking Georgia.
Yeah, I am too. I'll say this, and you mentioned Gunnar Stockton. Like, this game, to me, is kind of, where are we with him? Right? I mean, we've kind of seen some glimpses of the good and the bad early in the season, but this is the first true test. Going on the road, Knoxville, good Tennessee defense, good Tennessee football team. Gunnar Stockton has some weapons, right? You got Zachariah Branch, who comes in from USC. You got Colby Young. You got London Humphreys. By the way, Oscar Delp, the tight end. Yeah. Big game in this one last year, 2 touchdown catches. So the weapons are there, but can they have the balance against Tennessee? That's the big question I have. So when you look at this matchup on paper, you're like, I don't know, man. Like, this is a tough test. Tennessee might be better than we thought. They've got to be able to run the football. We know that. He gives them some numbers and some of the things they do with the QB run. But at the end of the day, when I look at this, I get it. A couple of offensive linemen on the right side are banged up for Georgia. Nate Frazier's a great back. They've got 3 backs. But can they run it against this Tennessee front? Georgia has dominated this matchup. Like, it don't matter, in my opinion. Some matchups in college football, it just don't matter, right? And this is one of them. Kirby Smart has owned Tennessee. You go back, like I just wrote in my notes, in Athens, in Knoxville, it doesn't matter. Ranked, where they're ranked in this, it doesn't matter. They were 9th in the country, Tennessee was last year, beat them by 14. 28 points the year before. They were ranked 6th, Tennessee was, in 2022, beat them by 14. Beat them by 24 the year before that. Tennessee hasn't beaten Georgia all the way back to 2016 you have to go, and that took a Hendon Hooker Hail Mary.
Right.
It's not happening.
No.
Give me Georgia.
And I fell for it last year with Tennessee.
And it's down to 3.5 points, too. Interesting. All right, next game up, Notre Dame, Texas A&M. Who you got?
Love Notre Dame in this one. Coming off the bye, CJ Carr, look, made some critical mistakes in his first start. No question about it. Still encouraged by what he did. I think they get Jeremiah the love the ball more in this game. I think, the offensive line, it's going to be warm in South Bend on Saturday, but by the time the night rolls around, I think it's going to cool down. That offensive line's not going to have to deal with the conditions they had to deal with against Miami. Texas A&M's got some dudes on defense. Cassius Howell is a stud.
Yeah, he is.
He's a dude. But that said, the Texas A&M defense hasn't played all that well. Marcel Reed should play in this game, the quarterback for Texas A&M, but a little banged up. Give me Notre Dame.
If he doesn't, then you got Miles O'Neill from Marblehead, Mass.
Your guy.
A North Shore guy.
Stop.
Can throw the ball 90 yards in the air. No, but I think everything I've heard talking to people, Marcel Reed will be ready to go. It was kind of precautionary last week when they took him out, right? A&M's got weapons, by the way. That's different. I think a little bit different than you can go back to obviously like Mike Evans and those. But like Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion came out first 2 weeks. They've been like the real deal. Craver became the first player to open his Texas A&M career with 200-plus receiving yard games. 122 UTSA, 114 against Utah State. Concepcion, first to open up his A&M career with a pair of touchdowns or multiple touchdowns in the first 2 games. Since Trey Carson in 2013, Concepcion also had the 80-yard return against UTSA. I think Notre Dame wins, okay? I really do. But I think this is going to be a battle. I think it's a little bit of revenge from last year. What happened, it kind of set the tone for each of these teams' seasons. I think A&M, this is the Aggies' Super Bowl. If I had to take the points in this, go with a point spread, I would take Aggies plus 6.5. But I do think Notre Dame comes away with a win. All right, next one. Of the 5 games we're going to cover, and they're all great games, this is the one that I just can't wait to see. Florida coming off of an embarrassment. LSU got it rolling. What jumps out to you?
You trying to get in my head earlier this week talking about last year's game where Florida won 27-16. So now I got to be on the watch for it again, completely ignoring the fact that LSU has won 3 straight at home against this team. 5 of the last 6. This is a night game in Baton Rouge at Tiger Stadium. Do you think Billy Napier rights the ship again? Because I do not. I think.
Oh, you think this is it?
Listen, that's a tough one to bounce back from last week. And maybe they do it. They got the talent, but give me LSU and give them. I think they cover. It's 7.5. I think they cover.
I know what I'm getting in Nussmeier. He's playing at a level that, mentally, that I don't know that we've seen a college quarterback play at since Andrew Luck. I don't know what I'm getting with Lagway. I need to see improvement. But what I need to see most in this game is Florida's commitment to the run, okay? Florida came out last week, and against South Florida, Jaden Baugh was awesome. 6 carries, drove him down the field. Lagway had some missed throws, a bad decision. But they still drove, and then were about to drive down and score a touchdown. They then abandoned the run. He only had 12 carries, Baugh did, the rest of the game after the first 6 in that first series, okay? So there's got to be a commitment to that. There's got to be a commitment and a trust in your offensive line, which appears to be a good group. There's talent there. Lagway needs to be more involved as a runner, so this run attack is critical. It's paramount, okay? LSU wins this game for all the reasons you said, but it's a battle. If you had to gun to head, I'd like Florida plus 7.5. I think that this is talk about backed into a corner, like a rabid animal. This is the moment where if Florida doesn't come out and play the best game of its season and correct its flaws from last week, I think you're right, and this season is going to be an unmitigated disaster, and Billy Napier may be looking at his last season there. But I like Florida to fight back. All right, Miami, South Florida. Who had this in your starting lineup of games a couple weeks ago? Obviously, you've got this South Florida team, Boise State, and maybe Boise State's down. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. And they come out and they do what they did to Florida, and now it's like, this is the real deal. Who you got in this one, and tell me what you're looking for.
Is it the real deal?
Okay.
Or is Boise State overrated and Florida just shot themselves in the foot? I think that Alex Golesh, the head coach of South Florida, is doing an outstanding job. pushing all the right buttons. It's great what they've done. I don't think they have any idea of what they're going to see from these Miami fronts. Florida's fronts are pretty good. Miami's are outrageous. That defensive line for Miami is a nightmare. And the offensive line for Miami is pretty damn good too. I think Miami covers. I think this is finally the midnight strikes for the Cinderella that South Florida is. If you look at those games, first of all, the Boise State game, the fake punt, again, they took advantage of every opportunity, and that's what good teams do. I just don't think Miami's going to open the door for them.
Miami's got some nice complementary pieces on offense, right? You got C.J. Daniels at wide receiver. You've got Elijah Lofton, who's emerging at tight end. You've got these two running backs, Mark Fletcher Jr. and Charmar Brown. But give me more Malachi Toney.
That's going to be the thing this year.
This guy's special.
He is.
He's different. I can't wait to see. Now that they know what he can do in a big game, Notre Dame, now there's a comfort level. He's walking around campus with a little bit more swag. I'm telling you, this guy's special. I'm with you. I think that South Florida's going to make a run at this thing. I think they're absolutely. I looked at their schedule. You got Memphis. You got Tulane. I think that they could very easily lose this game as long as it's somewhat respectable. But I'm saying more than 17. And then go on and win the rest of them. Memphis and Tulane are the tough games, and wind up being in the college football playoff. But this is all about Miami.
Yeah, like Boise State losing to Oregon last year. Very similar feel to me.
Yeah.
Boise State lost to Oregon and still got in.
Yeah. I don't disagree. All right, we're doing good on time. I can hear the people outside. They're starting to line up. Yeah, we got 5 minutes before they come in. You know me. I like to push it. Last game on the docket. Clemson, Georgia Tech. This one's interesting.
Here we go.
Go.
Do you know that this was the last year was the first time in 41 years those teams didn't play because of the remodeling of schedules with the ACC? The history between these teams is amazing. There's a lot of good things that have happened with all these conferences, but I hate when these matchups don't happen every year. I'm just going to go out and say that. I also am a huge fan of Brent Key. Is Haynes King going to play in this game? He didn't last week. Looks like he is going to this week. Yeah, his legs are a problem. They can give any team a problem, as Georgia found out last year. I still think Clemson is just too damn talented and bounces back from this inconsistent play we've seen and finds a way to win this game. They have a 9-game winning streak against Georgia Tech coming into this. I know it looks like Clemson's down. I'm not falling for it. I think Clemson gets the win.
You know what's interesting? I think this line started at 6.5, and now it's down to 3.5.
3.5.
What I do know from Key in Georgia Tech and your quarterback, who's one of the all-time tough guys.
Yep.
If you had any question about what this program is built on, go back and watch that Georgia game last year, right? I do know that they're going to be physical. They're going to test Clemson's will. They're also going to be disciplined, and they're going to get, when you aren't in the right gap defensively, when you aren't blocking it up, get hat on hat offensively, they're going to create problems for you. This is my challenge to you, Clemson. How about you bring the fight to somebody? We talked all summer, right? Peter Woods, T.J. Parker, some transfer portal guys. You got Avion Terrell at corner. You got these young stars coming in and helping support this defense, linebacker especially. You got the number one quarterback potentially in all the land in Cade Klubnik. You got 4 offensive line starters coming back. You got weapons on the outside. And yeah, I get it. Antonio Williams got knocked out. But you know how many programs would kill to have Wingo and Moore on the perimeter? Be the bully, right? Be the bully, Clemson. This show's coming to see you in November. I think November 8th, right? You always correct me on the date. I'm not a calendar guy. What I am is I understand at some point you've got to step on that field and be like, it goes through us. You know what I mean?
They're good enough to say it. They're good enough to do it. Did you watch the clips of Gruden?
With Gruden talking to Georgia?
No.
It's my dream, man. I'm John Gruden, and if I could bring a team in here in the SEC, it's my dream to come in here and ruin your season. It would be my dream. But you got to be the fucking nightmare.
Yeah, he's in the nightmare business.
That mentality. Clemson's this wonderful campus, and it's beautiful, and it's all this and it's Death Valley, and it's the colors, and it's the fans, and Like, it's time to actually go out and be the big dog in the alley. I want to see, because I've talked to some people, it's like, it's time. And this is a perfect opponent to do it against, because this opponent wins with toughness, physicality, and just like a fight that you don't get from every other program in the country. This is the week to set a tone.
Great. Did they do it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, parlay real quick. I can hear the people coming in. But, like, we got to win money. I don't want to remind people that I picked 3 correct legs of a 4-leg parlay last week, and Muench ruined us with Florida. And now all of a sudden he hates Florida. I wonder why. Let's start with this, our picks of the week. Who's your pick of the week?
Notre Dame.
This is FanDuel. Like, get on your FanDuel app now. Let's get serious. Let's make some scratch this week. You're going with Notre Dame as your pick of the week.
Yes.
So you're giving the 6.5 points.
Yep.
Okay, and you explained why already, so that makes it easy. I'm going with Duke. Something's fishy, and Corso taught us all a long time ago. And somebody's knows something. I go with the somebodies, right? But I'm going against it this week. Duke went from -1.5 to +1.5. I watched that game against Illinois. It was not that final score, 45-17, whatever the number was.
No.
Darian Mensah at quarterback is the real deal. Now he's got a little game experience there under his belt. They're going up against a Tulane team that I respect. People love Tulane in this game. I'm going with Duke +1.5.
I love Duke in that game.
Now, if you want to make real money, I'm talking +620 money. This is my play of the week for FanDuel, right? They ask once a week, what's the 4-leg parlay? Here it is. Georgia money line. I already told you, they don't lose. They don't lose to Tennessee. Clemson money line. It's time to be the bully. Duke +1.5. I just explained it to you. And here's the other one. I don't know if something happened the last couple of days. You have the best offensive line in the country. You got a quarterback who's dealing, a defense under Whittingham. Utah. Give me Utah in this game. Money line. So you get the money line on Georgia, Clemson, Utah. 3 of the best programs out there.
So you're not going with my picks anymore?
Duke +1.5, and it's your Muench is nodding.
One and done, huh?
You good, Muench? I actually don't care this week. +620. There it is. All right, live show's coming up now. This is going to be a fun one. So excited to have everyone here in Chicago and everyone who's listening and watching YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate your support. Let's just get into it, right? We've got a huge slate in college football this week, and we're going to find out a lot more. But we're going to do a lot of fun stuff. I should mention this. This is where I'm not good at hosting, right? We're going to go through a couple things and kind of go through our show for a little bit. We've got Big Katz sitting up in the green room right now from Barstool. He's excited to be here. Really appreciate him coming out tonight. Heading off to Big Noon Kick this week. Actually, not heading out. Right down the street.
Yeah, right down the street.
Northwestern. Oregon. That should be a close game. Sorry. I know there's some grad students here from Northwestern. I know, but when you only have and we appreciate you too. But we're going to need more than 12,000 in the stands to take on Oregon, I think. So Big Cat will join us for a while. Then we'll do a Q&A session. I want to get into this. We decided we wanted to go through, kind of mesh our worlds, right? College football and the draft.
Yeah.
Man, say hi to everyone, please.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
As my daughter Alaire says to me constantly, would you let Muench talk? Would you let Muenchy talk, please? So I want to go through, and we're gonna do a draft, and we haven't pre-planned this, so it could get off the rails. And I think I got a pen somewhere. We'll write it down so we don't mess it up.
Good shot. We mess it up.
But I wanted to do a draft. All right, we've only got 2 weeks, and we got Clemson, Georgia Tech, and Florida, LSU, and all the other big games lined up this week. 5 of them that are chef's entree course, one after another. But what do we know so far? So we want to do a college football playoff prediction, but we're going to draft it. And I'm going to let Muench start. And we'll start. Here's how you have to do it, right? Even though the seeding is going to be proper this year, that was a nightmare last year, whereas the conference winners getting in, top seeds. We got to decide the conference winners first.
Right.
And then from there, we'll plug in, and obviously the G5 as well, with the SEC, Big 10, ACC, Big 12, and the G5. And after that, we've got 7 at large. And so we'll go through and we'll create a draft. And then I kind of want to hear from you guys. I know we won't have the mic, but where did we miss? Like, I want to figure out who we're missing on, if you will. So let's start it out. Muench, I'll give you the first pick.
I'm taking Ohio State.
Well, I didn't even tell you what fucking conference.
Oh, you didn't? You're breaking it down? Okay, go ahead. It's going to be Ohio State.
Big Ten.
Ohio State. I don't know what to make of the Texas win yet. I don't know what that Texas team is. I'm a little worried about Julian Sain. Is he going to continue to play at this level? But this is what I know. Jeremiah Smith is the best player in the country. That defense I believe in. I believe in Ryan Day. I think Brian Hartline's going to be a hell of a play caller. It's early, but he looks real good early. So to me, give me Ohio State.
All right. I'm going to write that down in my notes in a minute so we don't forget. Then I'll do the SEC. I'm buying it. I'm buying the Kool-Aid on LSU. Yep. Right? Who said yep?
Some Tigers fans.
Okay. What's your name? Jeff. So you're seeing what I'm seeing. Like, Nussmeier's doing different stuff. This is like Andrew Luck stuff pre-snap. And he looks like a little twitchier. We heard the report, like the tendonitis in knee, and maybe he's not. He looks great. And he's got weapons. And that offensive line with 4 guys going in the NFL might be actually better. And I don't know.
Surprising.
Right?
Yeah.
And Brian Kelly warned us of that, but I also thought he was like, let's get out in the media. I want my line to feel confident going the season. They look better. But most importantly, the defense. That Blake Baker defense it was atrocious before Blake came in 2023. Last year it was significantly better, but it was still kind of up and down middle of the road. They look real. Like Mansour Delane at corner.
Yeah.
That's a dude. The Witt brothers at linebacker. Dudes. They bring in the Florida State transfer at defensive end.
Marvin Jones, yeah.
You got who else is
Harold Perkins Jr.
Oh, Harold Perkins.
Yeah.
At the star position is back to 2023 production. So I think they're legit. But there's obviously a lot of other SEC teams, and they're going to have to get in through the 7 different spots in the at-large. So right now we got Ohio State from the Big Ten, LSU from the SEC. You want to take ACC or Big 12?
Big 12, because I want to talk about this team.
Go ahead.
But I'm with you on LSU. I got Utah coming out of the Big 12. There's been a lot of talk about Oklahoma getting John Mateer and Ben Arbuckle from Washington State. And Utah went out and did their own thing and got Devin Dampier and Jason Beck, the offense coordinator from New Mexico. Best offensive line in the country. Caleb Lomu and Spencer Fanu are the best offensive tackles, I think, in the draft eligible offensive tackles.
They might be top 20 picks.
I think they're 1 and 2. That's how good they are.
How does Utah, right? I don't even have to finish the question, right? Right, like how when we saw like the
don't sleep on Utah.
When you were texting me these weird tapes on your phone of Fanu and
Lomu.
Yeah. And how are their names Fanu and Lomu? And they're the top 2 offensive tackles in the country, could be top 20 picks, and they're at Utah. It's wild.
I think Utah's good, man. I think
they are too.
Kyle Whittingham is a hell of a coach. They won the Pac-12 in 21 and 22. This is not a team that last year was a nightmare. But when you look at
Dampier's the difference. Though.
Yeah, he can run, man. He can make plays with his arm. He's been more efficient this year with his arm, and he can make plays with his feet. He is a difference maker at that position.
All right, ACC. This was tough because I'm a Clemson guy coming in the year, right? Like we did a Clemson. Yeah,
that's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough night.
That's probably Marissa clapping. I'm picking Clemson, but I want to say after a couple of weeks, and obviously we haven't seen enough, Miami looks like they might be the better football team.
Yeah, because they are.
But I looked. See what I have to put up with? I think playing you get Notre Dame, then USF is better than we all thought. Then you got Florida. Not as good as maybe we all thought, but still Florida. And then you get in the ACC if you're Miami. Even if they win all those games, I'm saying like the toll that could take. And then you got at FSU, Louisville, at SMU in like a few week span. You compare that to Clemson's schedule, we're going to find out a little bit about Clemson this week in Georgia Tech. Because like this is when you got to come out and bully, right? Like I feel like Clemson's been like, yeah, we're preseason number 1, and we got Klubnik, everything's fine, and we get 4 offensive linemen returning. Like, how about you walk out there and like actually take the fight too? And I haven't seen that from Clemson. So like this week, because Georgia Tech, we know with Key as the head coach, like just watch that Georgia game last year. They're going to fight.
Yep.
They're going to do the discipline, toughness, physicality, all those things. So we're going to find out about Clemson this week. I think this is one of those backed into a corner, and you got to show your cards, right? All right. So if we've got Clemson there, even though I think Miami might be better than the G5, I think this is probably obvious. But go ahead.
Right. South Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see any other teams. It's not so much that I'm that high on South Florida. I really don't have a very high opinion of Boise State this year. That win is kind of okay, great. Glad you got it. Good for them. I thought Florida was awful last week. Was it Florida losing that game or South Florida winning that game? But I think you look at those 2 wins, they could even lose to Miami, like Boise State lost to Oregon last year, and they still get in. I think Alex Golesh, the South Florida coach, is really good. The defense is playing well. I have concerns about that offense moving the ball consistently. But I think, who else is it going to be? I looked around, Tulane maybe, Navy maybe. I just think it's South Florida right now. It's tough to pick another team.
All right, I can already hear. Thankfully, we don't have earpieces, and I can already hear.
We're supposed to be 20 minutes,
my old producers at ESPN rap. Like, we got to get rolling because we got Big Cat waiting upstairs. He's a slugger, apparently, on his softball team, so I got to try to get him out of here by around like 8 o'clock.
Clean up.
We got a moving target on that. But so let's start ripping through. I did want to get in this Goalish note. When he came there, they had $250,000 in NIL money. They had no money. They had a 2.2 GPA. A couple years later, 3.1 GPA, $22 million indoor facility. They got a $350 million stadium that they're building for 2027. Like, this guy has turned the whole. What's that?
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Why do you think he? All right.
There we go.
Sure. Go Bucks. All right.
I get it.
So I get first pick of the at-large. I'm going Texas. I don't need to give a long explanation why. I think they're going to bounce back. I think Arch is going to get better. I think Arch still has problems, though. I don't think Arch is coming out in this year's draft. I'm going to give you that right now. I think Arch needs to come back for another year. I think there was a moment in time where we were talking about Arch in 2026, and I wasn't, because I refused to put him there because I've been around the Manning family. I know the process, and I do think that Arch may have been different than Eli and Peyton, who stayed for their final years, because Arch is in a bubble, unlike Peyton was and unlike Eli was. And even though they're smaller places than Austin, it's not today's media climate, and he can't go anywhere. And so I thought for a minute, if he plays really well and he starts to show development, maybe it's easier to go develop as a first-round pick, a number 1 overall pick in the NFL, where you don't have that bubble everywhere you go. It don't matter now. Like, he's just not there. He's going to get there, I truly believe, but he's not there. But that's another topic for another time. I think Texas is too good to not get in this college football playoff. So that would be my one at large.
Awesome. 1 for 3 so far. I am taking Notre Dame. Yeah, right? Let the hometown fans, let's get it going. I'm taking Notre Dame. CJ Card made some critical errors in the opener. That Miami team is good, as good as the team they're going to play this year. I think they beat Texas A&M this week. They roll after that, a lot like they did last year. I love their offensive line. I think their defensive line's got some guys that can emerge. I love their corners. Malachi Fields, a wide receiver, can turn into a real contributor for them.
Yeah.
So I think Notre Dame's a lock to get.
Yeah, I believe in Marcus. I really do. Georgia is going to be my next at-large. I think they're going to send a message this week. Tennessee, they own. And I think they'll continue to own them. And I don't think the quarterback is what they got rid of Carson Beck because Carson Beck wasn't a fit for what they wanted to do. Gunnar Stockton is not nearly as talented. He's got weapons, but I don't think he's a great passer. I don't know that he ever will be a great passer, but I think that they can manage him. He can manage the game, his run element. They've got 3 really good running backs, a good offensive line, and I think their defense is actually going to be great again this year. So I like Georgia to make a run and get in the playoff. Who you got next?
I'm going to shock some people with this one and put you in a tough position. I got Florida State.
Ooh.
I think Florida State gets in, man. Gus Malzahn is a wizard in the run game. Tommy Castellanos.
Now I'm in a real spot.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
know.
we know all the reason why. It's
He's a mobile
Castellanos
quarterback. Gus Malzahn gets a mobile quarterback. He's got great depth at running back. Think about it.
But
Auburn,
now you stuck it to me because now I got Miami.
yeah, which
So
you
what
should
am
have
I gonna-
taken. Which, by the way, means something, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But you should have taken Miami as the champ. I'm going Florida State, man. Malzahn, his run game at UCF the last 2 years, top 5 rushing yards per game. At Auburn, when they went to the national championship, he had Cam Newton, who was the top rushing offense in the country. His offenses average over the course of his career as a head coach or offense coordinator, 447.7 yards per game. The dude knows how to coach offense. That's going to be a problem for them. A weird stat right now for them, and this is definitely going to change. But as a team, they're averaging over 20 yards per catch. As a team, they're averaging over 20 yards per catch. And the reason is everyone's going to come up and play all those motions. And this receiver is going to run for 30 yards on us, and they're going to pound the ball this way. And then Tommy's going to make a play with his feet. It's a problem for teams. And I look at their schedule, and I really think Florida State's going to get in.
I had Miami next on the list, but I can't give the ACC 3 teams.
No, you can't.
All right, so I'm going to pass because it played out differently, right? Oregon, I'm going with the Ducks.
Fly Ducks fly.
Will Stein knows what he's doing, man. He's got another young quarterback. Dante Moore comes in, like, no problem. They're rolling. Yeah, I think Oregon's going to be in it in the end. And that I want to ask Big Cat about SEC Big Ten. I got a feeling I know, but like this is going to be an interesting and important year for that conversation.
I think so too.
All right,
I think it's flipping a little.
So we got 2 picks left. Let me update everyone. LSU from the SEC, Ohio State from the Big Ten, Utah Big 12, Clemson ACC, South Florida G5. At large, we've got Texas, Notre Dame, Georgia, FSU, and Oregon. 2 picks left.
Ready? Penn State. I'm not high on Penn State. Drew Aller scares me. I don't think that defense is as good as it was last year.
So let's put them in.
Nope. I think they get in because I think they'll have 1 loss. I think they'll get 1 loss, maybe 2 losses, and that they will get in. I think their running game's too good with Allen and Singleton. I think Aller will be good enough for them to get in. The defense will be good enough, but I don't love them to make a deep run, but I think they get in.
I'm going to Oklahoma. What?
Illinois.
I want to talk about that in a minute.
Talk about it now. I don't think
That's the thing.
people here are dying to talk
Illinois-
about Oklahoma outside of John Material. Looks awesome.
I think Illinois is going to the playoff this year. I really do. It's Indiana all
You're
over
such a
again.
homer.
I know.
You're in Chicago. You got
It's-
Northwestern going in too?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how they do it. Go Katz. No, I'm for real. I think Illinois is going to get in. I think it's Indiana all over again. Who are they going to lose to? Ohio State? You going to keep in? I don't know, man.
Mendoza.
Listen, I thought they were going to lose to Indiana coming into the year. I'm not sure I feel that way anymore. I really don't. I think Altmaier just somehow wins games. They got a defensive line that can get after the quarterback. I think it'll make it uncomfortable for Mendoza in that game. It'll be a good game, but I really think they're going to find a way to win that one. And if they win that one, there's a couple hiccups. I think they have USC. That could be a game that could be tough for them. But I think Illinois is getting in. I think there's a real path for Illinois to get in the playoff this year.
All right.
Got to play the room, McShay.
You did. All right, so I guess, no one really cares, but LSU, Ohio State, Utah, Clemson, USF. Write these things down because give us some stuff to come back at us. Texas, Notre Dame, Georgia, Florida State, Oregon, Penn State, and I picked Oklahoma, but yet we went on a 3-minute dissertation
I love
about
Oklahoma.
Illinois.
I think Oklahoma gets in too. Can I tell you something?
How many? There's only 12.
I know. So these are the teams that I don't think are getting in that like you had.
Go ahead.
I think Texas doesn't get in. If Texas loses to Ohio State, Oklahoma, do you like Oklahoma or Texas in that game right now? I like Oklahoma. Yeah. Then they got to play Georgia. Now you got 3 losses. It starts to get real interesting.
They beat Georgia.
At Georgia?
Yep.
I think that's what it comes down to. You're not
Did you
loving
notice
it.
the lack of conviction?
Yeah, you're not loving it. Also, Clemson loses to LSU, Florida State, and South Carolina. They're not getting in. I'm not sure Clemson's getting in.
That Florida
By the way,
State
I
game.
thought I will fully admit this. I thought Clemson was the best team in the country coming in. I've seen enough to know that I was wrong.
Yeah.
So if
It takes a real man.
yeah, right.
All right, I do want to get to this, and it doesn't have to be the longest thing in the world. But I said when we finally have our first show, I want to provide people who actually took the time out of their schedule on Wednesday night, paid money to come and hang out here, something that you can't get anywhere else. Not that it's like earth-shattering or anything else, but it's been a wild couple weeks of these quarterbacks, right? And I've been talking about the golden age, the golden era in quarterbacks. Right now, we're living in it in college football. I've talked to so many NFL scouts and general managers who were like, this like, maybe there's not from a few years ago like 6 guys in the top 12, but I don't like. We all are kind of agreeing. I don't know that you can point to any other time in history where these many guys are draft eligible quarterbacks that are playing in college at this level. The list usually goes like 12, 13 deep. It's like 25 deep in college football. So the quarterback talk, and I've read some of the comments, and I know people are like, there's other positions besides quarterback. We've been focusing on it a lot. I get it. We're going to branch out now that the season is starting to roll, and we actually have games this week. But I wanted to update the quarterback rankings. And I think there's going to be some interesting things in here, okay?
All right.
So I'm going to unveil it
have
here
not seen it, have not
for
heard
nobody else. This show doesn't even post until Thursday morning, I think. What is it, Wednesday night? So tomorrow. So you guys can say something on social media and get that buzz going till Thursday morning. Man, it's been a long week. All right, here are my rankings. Ready? And Arch is not included. I kind of explained why before. I mean, I really did. Number 1, Garrett Nussmeier. And I talked about where he is. I love the LSU.
Yeah, there's
in
some
the room.
LSU love here.
He's not as talented as some of these other guys, but I don't. It's hard to explain how proficient he is and how next level he is and how he orchestrates things. I don't. Honestly, it won't surprise me if he's not the first quarterback taken. But right now, if I had to draft a quarterback and I had the number 1 overall pick, I would take Nussmeier. Number 2 is tough because a lot like Arch, I don't think this guy's ready, but my goodness, is he talented. Your guy, Lenore Sellers, and I heard someone whisper, and good call, right up front. I like that. It's like being first seat in the classroom. You're ready to ask questions. Yeah.
Too good. Too talented.
He's too talented.
Yeah.
I want to see him play another year, but if he comes out, I think
Steps up in big moments too, man.
And they're talking to people in the league. It's very interesting. Nussmeier, people are split on. Klubnik, people are split on. Sellers is like, yeah, I see it, but he's got to get here as a passer before I can stamp it. And coming into the year, it was kind of I heard too many Jalen Milrose from scouts in the league, and I was like, no. But I know where they're going, but no, like Jalen, no. We can have that conversation.
Wait,
for a
no.
while.
What are you saying no to? That he's not Jalen Milroe?
Jalen Milroe, I don't know that will ever be able to throw the ball accurately
Right. Okay.
enough.
Thank you.
And I don't think he ever understood. And you hear some of the stories out of Tuscaloosa. He never quite grasped things.
Right.
But
Little
he's
harsh.
really super smart, and it's weird to be super smart in the classroom and like be as smart and but the processing in football can be different.
Right.
Sellers is going to get it. I believe that. I've got Klubnik at 3 now, and I had him at 1 coming in the year. So it's not a good start, obviously.
No.
And I've been worried about some of the panic in the pocket, and he's not being protected, and is he like bad habits? But I want to see him play out of it this week, starting this week with Georgia Tech. Fernando Mendoza, right?
Now who's hamming it up?
6'5", 225, layering ability, mobility. I'm excited to see Indiana play competition, but he's off to a hot start. John Mateer.
Too low.
Might be too low, but I'm trying not to like overreact.
Overreact. Have some fun.
I love when you give me the prep school face, which I'll get to Big Cat in a little bit. Portnoy stole that from me. Jason Callisman went off to prep school. I went and picked him up from prep school. All of a sudden, we're in the car. I'm driving him home in my mom's Caravan from Brewster Academy, I think it was. And we're talking. He should be all excited, and he's pissed off because his parents weren't there and family wasn't there, so I had to come pick him up. And so and at one point I say something, and he's like, and I was like, listen, prep school face. Like, I'm not here for that. Anyway,
Brewster Academy.
I digress. All right, Drew Aller at 6. Not as high on him as others are. We got a whole year to talk about that. You aren't either. Sometimes we agree. Carson Beck from Miami. I took him off the radar. I just needed a Beck break. You know, like when you just I need a break from you. We need time apart. I like Lamborghinis. Now Lamborghini's stolen. Cavender twin. No cheating on Cavender twin. Like I just needed a break. Georgia needed a break. They got it. I needed one. So
TMZ over here.
But then the reports are like, hey, he's showing up. He's working hard. He's doing all the right things. Teammates love him. Timing. He's getting the ball out. He's decisive. And I'm like, yeah, but it's camp and everyone's talking about that. I got to get Big Cat in here soon. But boy, that play in the first game, and you saw it, and teammates actually like hanging from him, so excited. Yeah, you can see it. It's actually tangible. It's real. Carson Beck is starting to rise back up and is worth talking about. Sawyer Robertson is my Baylor. I just love this guy.
Yeah.
So I'm at the Manning Passing Academy, right? We got Nussmeier, Sellers, Arch, Klubnik, all these dudes, right? And I didn't really know much about Sawyer Robertson. Saw a little bit last year. Not on the radar with NFL scouts in terms of like top 10, top 12 quarterbacks. They're all going out and they're doing this Friday Night Lights. It's like, something out of a movie set. It's beautiful. You're in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Take it for what it is. Weather wasn't as bad as you would think in late June. And all these guys, they've got this whole setup where they're throwing and doing these different drills and hitting spots. And it was like the purest thing in football. There were no cameras there. It wasn't a TV event. It wasn't like they were just like shorts, T-shirts, guys like competing their ass off, but doing it because they love the game and want to be there, right? After a day of being a camp counselor for a bunch of high school kids and younger, this is their payoff to go out and throw and compete against the top quarterbacks in the country. And then and all of them, if it's 24 points, let's say, was the perfect score, that's hitting every target across, starting right, some were rolling, some were from the pocket, all of it, touch, layer, drill some throws, all of it. Some guys were getting like 17, 19 points, like doing really good. He rolls out and just kind of quietly, like 6'5", 225, just kind of rolls out and hits every target. And was like, yeah, and just walked back. I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah, all he does is throw for 400 yards every game.
So those are the top 8 right there. Sam Levitt, horrible start.
Not
for
good
ASU.
Last week.
Very talented. I'm keeping an eye. And I mentioned Dante Moore before. This Will Stein guy came out of kind of nowhere in college football. Got his hands on Bo Nix. Right?
Yeah.
Got his hands on Dylan Gabriel.
I already agree with you.
Dante Moore's a 5-star. Didn't work out at UCLA. We see what's going on with that program. Comes over and is just waiting in the wings. Wins the job in the summer. Had a tough battle for it. And I know it's Montana State. I know it's Oklahoma State. But the numbers he's putting up and the way he looks. So that's my top 10.
I don't hate it. I think Aller might be I think a lot of people disagree with this. I think he might be too high on the list. I think I might have Beck ahead of him.
You said Mateer higher, maybe?
I would definitely put Mateer higher because I live in the moment and I get excited about life. I don't have to sit back and have to analyze everything. I can just see how good he is and how he wins football games and want to put him higher.
Yeah, and you don't have to deal with the kickback and all.
That's the best part of my job. Is it your face? You have to deal with all of it, and I can say whatever I want.
It is kind of a nice part, huh?
It's the greatest.
You don't have the worst gig in the world. The McShay Show is brought to you by FanDuel. Ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel's got a boost you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. Each week, we're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics. No invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. And it is an awesome slate. Georgia at Tennessee, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, LSU, Florida, Miami, South Florida, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Bama, Wisconsin, South Carolina, Vandy. Just because Sellers is in that game. And the brawl, Pitt, West Virginia. Can't wait. This is a fun week. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to fanduel.com/McShay to download the app, check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer, and get in on the action. Must be 21 and older and present in select states, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. This episode is brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. Ready to give rival tailgates the foam finger? Duluth Trading Company crafts Hall of Fame game day gear to help you grill hotter, cheer louder, and tailgate longer. Trust me, I'm a scene at the grill. I know what this is all about. They've got bibs loaded with pockets, gusseted pants so you can crouch without snuffing out your coals, and free swinging shirts tailor-made for beanbag tossing, or some like to call it cornhole. Stay comfortable from preseason to playoffs in the toughest tailgate attire around. Only at Duluth Trading Company. All right, let's bring him out, right? Big Cat from Barstool, Dan Katz. Thrilled to have this guy.
I was just sitting in the back waiting for you guys to say Wisconsin's going to be in the playoff. I guess I'll just have to wait a little longer. What's up, everyone? The only reason I'm here is because I live 5-minute walk away, and he said he'd give me dinner, so.
Fair.
Way to support the show.
Did you guys plan this, by the way? This looks
nice. It kind of looks like you were involved, too. No, when we walked out of the hotel, I was like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was that Spider-Man.
It's like the show uniform.
You look good.
How we doing, man?
I'm okay. I want to talk about Caleb. You guys got to talk me off the ledge about Caleb because I'm having a little existential crisis week 1, which I told myself before the season I was going to be patient, and then week 1 happened and I was like, this fucking sucks.
Let's get into it, right?
Yeah.
Not a good week.
How were you wrong with your analysis? Why did you betray us?
Let's make it my fault. Good thing I was out of this business for a year, mind you.
Yep.
I was taking a little sabbatical. No, all right, let's talk about it. Because here's the deal. I'm watching the game, and had they just scored one more time, and I kind of hung on and won. Yeah. Here's the analysis. I know the analysis.
Ifs and buts.
Yes, get up.
Because what's going to happen right away is Caleb's back, Ben Johnson, all this stuff, and then there's going to be a couple smart people who actually do the work. They're like, he did great, still things to work on, but we're seeing the signs. So you get a little pushback, but we're seeing some signs though. It's positive, and Ben Johnson's in, and we're seeing, and they would do on ESPN. They were like, all right, we clock in 2.2 seconds. He's getting the ball out.
10 for 10 to start the game.
Game. So they would be focused and be like, but there were some plays, and he's got to improve. But what a great start! But then the last quarter and a half happened.
Yeah,
and now it's and then Tyler Dunn.
Yeah.
That was before.
With the hit piece, but now you match the game with the hit piece.
Yep. Which was why they released it right before.
What's the temperature here?
Listen, that hit piece. Tyler Dunn's going to do whatever he does. He's going to talk to the guys. I think it's more on the guys because you guys know how this works. The NFL is a cover your own ass league where if the ship's going down, everyone's going to come up with a story so that they can be like, well, it wasn't me, it was him. And we heard for 6 months about how it was the coaching, and it was Caleb's side of the story. You knew this was going to happen. It's Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach. I think it was probably Shane Waldron. Eberflus actually didn't talk to Tyler Dunn, which credit to him.
Smart.
Because he probably had a lot to say. But these guys are basically doing what they're basically doing is setting a narrative that when they go into a meeting next year or the year after looking for a job, they can be like, no, this is what it was. It wasn't me, it was him. Is that not fair?
Let me tell you this about, I know 2 things now. Middle school girls and fired coaches, scouts in the NFL.
Yeah.
The 2 groups of human beings in this world. Because I've got a stepdaughter, Mia, who is in middle school. and I've been around football my entire professional life. So
What are her thoughts on Caleb?
those two,
Hold on.
those two groups.
You can't read? What is it? What are
Those two groups are the two that you don't want to cross,
Right.
And you're like, because they'll burn you at the stake.
Yeah.
Right.
But sometimes Becky's right. Like,
Listen,
can they not be right about this too? Like,
Well,
But
I think it's child. Like anyone who sees the world in black and white is a child. So was Caleb hard to deal with? Probably. But he also probably had really bad coaches who he was like, fuck these guys. They're not helping me. Shane Waldron was a bad hire by the Bears he's not a quarterback developer.
Shane Waldron should never have been around
Right.
Caleb Williams. I'll start with that.
Right.
And you don't draft that quarterback and have a defensive head coach. No matter what
Yes.
it cost, it should have been Ben Johnson before that.
It should have been Jim Harbaugh.
Or yes.
That's
an offensive coach who knows how to develop, work with, and
Right.
protect quarterbacks. So we'll start with that. The thing that, honestly, when I was done reading it, I was like, this is damning of the front office.
Oh yeah, because this is all the way that a front office can fuck this up. We all probably in this room, a lot of Bears fans, we all were saying when you're going to draft Caleb Williams, you got to clean house. You got to get a new coaching staff. Instead, they kept Eberflus. And what offensive coordinator is going to take that job for a rookie head coach and a coach that's already fired, basically? That's why you end up with Shane Waldron. That's why the Commanders end up with Cliff Kingsbury. So, like, there's the difference right there. So it's all the steps leading up to Caleb Williams that were incorrect, and they didn't do the right thing and start all fresh. And it's like you can look at it, even the last 3 quarterbacks that we've drafted, all the timelines have been wrong. John Fox was the coach when Mitch Trubisky was drafted. Then John Fox gets fired. Then Matt Nagy's the coach when Justin Fields is there. Then he gets fired. So it's like a bunch of coaches inheriting guys they didn't pick. And you know this. You both know this very well about the NFL. If you didn't pick the guy, you don't care. Like if it's not your guy, you'll give him a shot. But the minute he's not good, you're like, that's not my problem. And that's unfortunately how the NFL works. So I'm worried about that with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
It's a catty league. You wouldn't, like, honestly, it is. It's
crazy.
And the second it starts, I saw something in the TV broadcast when Caleb came over to Ben, and towards the end when things were falling apart, and he was starting to revert back to all the stuff that Caleb did that you can't do in the NFL. Pressure's on, like it always brings out the bad habits in you, and only game experience. And being drilled this over and over again and losing or having bad moments and learning from those mistakes and trying to battle back, only game experience burns that out of your DNA. And so how long are they going to stick with this? How ugly could it get before he actually starts to burn that out of his DNA? But I saw at the end of the game, they showed us, on ABC or ESPN, I guess, just a close-up of Caleb came over and Ben was like, and almost like indifferent, like
right,
like there's nothing I can tell you in
that's
this
good,
moment.
right?
You know, so
week 1, it's awesome.
Strong start.
But there's so much talent there, and you hope that he learns from it. But I can sit up here and say all that, but like this is the first time that I'm actually like,
Right. That was and I'm going to be patient. I think the Bears are going to win on Sunday. I know that's crazy, but I've gone through the whole process of like Tuesday and then Wednesday, and then I'm like, 5.5 points? Like, that's stealing.
It's a recovering process.
But I want him to be good so badly. Week 1, it just felt like there was a lot of the same stuff as last year. And that's like the feel for the game is just, it doesn't feel like it's there, you know? And it's like, and then watching JJ McCarthy be in hell and then get out of hell. And it was just like a total reversal. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if you see the tape and you're like, there's stuff there that can be fixed, or if you're like, hey, he just isn't seeing it the way he needs to see it, where like, even some of the throws where it's like he needs to see someone wide open to throw it. It's like you got to throw it before that in the NFL.
True. Like the DJ Moore down on the left sideline.
Yeah, and then he has the Roma Dunze throw on the first drive where you're like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yep.
No, there's only a few guys who can make that throw. That's why you keep being like, yes, it's going to work out eventually.
But you saw a case study of how to properly develop a quarterback and what happens when you don't do it the right way.
Right.
McCarthy,
But it's not over. Like,
No, it's not
No,
over.
it's not over.
But
I'm not giving up.
McCarthy was almost lucky to be out last year, and I know that sounds
No, I
strange,
don't
but he had
disagree.
a year to
Yeah.
figure it out, be in the building, learn the system. Not a lot asked of him.
it was a forced
great
Mahomes
quarterback coach.
situation.
Yeah.
It was a forced one.
And you said it when I was back there. You're talking about the 25 quarterbacks in the NCAA that could be on a roster. I think that puts pressure on the NFL because the impatience
Yes.
for teams
No
is
question.
out of control.
Yes.
Where it's like you used to be a guy would get 3, 4, 5 years. Now teams are like, we're done. Josh Rosen, we're done after a year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but that does feel like the new norm.
But it's smarter
It is
than being
smarter.
stuck with someone. And
Yeah. So it's not great. I have a crazy take for you guys. I'll throw it out there. I know, Todd, you loved doing scout analysis on kickers.
Oh God.
It's the only
your
position-
favorite thing to do.
It's the-
Cairo Santos can't kick over 50 yards. It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. Everyone watching the game on Monday night knew it. I don't know how the Bears. I think Ben Johnson said afterwards, he's like, he told me he could do it. It's like my son saying he can swim when he's never taken a swimming lesson, and it's just
told me he
all
could
right,
swim.
dude, go ahead, jump in. So everyone knew he wasn't gonna be able to do that. Could we maybe sign Jake Moody? Is he so bad? I know he's bad, but you scouted him. He's got a leg. He's 12 for 23 from field goals since week 10 last year. Guys have better streaks in baseball than that, like hitting. 12 for 23, but he can kick far. Is it crazy to have two
I was
kickers?
gonna say, do you burn a
Can we
roster
have two
spot?
kickers?
You can burn a roster spot for
Why
a
not?
kickoff guy.
Honestly, you might have to burn a roster spot.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
But the scary part is no two positions in football have improved more in the last decade than quarterback and kicker.
Yeah.
So, like, there's guys out, like, Australia. I know there's
don't know.
punters, but can we, like, they...
Cairo Santos would be the best kicker in the NFL 30 years ago because he is money from 50 in. But you see it every single night, every single Sunday. They'll just be like, oh, yeah, Brandon Aubrey, he's going to kick a 65-yarder. No
Yeah,
problem.
the Cam
Like,
Little
what
guy.
fuck?
The Cam Little guy now, 70-yarder the preseason.
The Vikings kicker. Who
Didn't
looks
the
like an
Bills-
intern at Deloitte. Came out and kicked a 58-yarder.
The Bills just got Prater, right? They just got him, and
Yeah, Prater's 50 years old.
Yeah.
still
If you
killing
can
it.
do it,
have
you
a
can do
kicker
it.
You have to have a kicker who can kick more than 50 yards.
I did not have this show going 3-4 minutes
Cairo
on
Santos.
on the Bears kicking situation.
It was so frustrating. I know we probably wouldn't have won the game, but still, like, how do you not have a guy who can kick it out of bounds or kick it out of the end zone?
All right, Caleb Williams comes out this week and plays a really good game. Kind of, he bottles up what happened in the first half. Not that he was awesome or perfect, but he bottles that up, and he gives you 4 quarters of good enough, some good flash, couple mistakes, but they win, and it feels good. How does the temperature in this town change?
Oh, it completely shifts. Bears are back. The crazy thing, though, is
It's week to week.
it is week to week. The wins and losses are not as relevant as people think right now. Like if we had lost to the Vikings week 1, but Caleb Williams was awesome, I think I would have been able to be like,
Yeah.
all right, we're good. Like it's gonna work long term. We're not in a rebuild. That's the frustrating part. Is the Bears they have been rebuilding.
They got some
this
talent,
roster
man.
should be good enough to compete. So it really is just like you have to have Caleb Williams look good this year.
Well,
he can
it's
win 7 games and he can look good and it can be a good year.
It's almost like for Ben Johnson, it's almost like, all right, I heard I'm now dating Caleb Williams. I heard that he's cheated on his past partners before. It's like that girl, but not with me. He won't cheat on me. You know?
Right.
And then for the first half, you're like, yeah, loyal, great,
This is awesome.
great part. Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then he goes and right in front of your face cheats on you in the second. Go right back to the same problems that he had. Like that feeling that Ben Johnson's got to have is like,
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But guys were open. That's the only thing. I mean, it's different than last year. Like there were just guys. Shane Waldron was just having everyone run the same route into each other. If you watched, I watched some of the all-22. Ben Johnson obviously knows how to coach offensive football. He's a great offensive mind. So it should work. I'm gonna say it's gonna work.
Who was there was a Bears wide receiver that left Chicago and went somewhere else. It was the year before, and someone asked him. It was like a random interview. It had nothing to do with the Bears.
Is it Mooney?
It might have been there. Like, what do you think? Shane Waldron's coming in. What do you think for?
It was a Seahawks wide receiver. It's Jackson Smith.
And it was
Jackson
like,
Smith.
what did he say? He was like,
He was just like,
yeah. He was like,
and he's like, are we live? Yeah.
And I was like, what he said. Because I was like, no, what he said.
Yeah.
That's what I thought about it.
Yeah.
All right, I want to ask you this though. We'll shift to college.
Yes.
Big noon kick. How about this guy, huh?
Yeah.
Big
TV.
Come a long way from the.
But listen, this is Dave just signing me up for stuff that he's gonna eventually stop doing, and I'm gonna have to do it.
Oh, Dave had no idea what this grind is.
No.
You know, you've come a long way since our remember our Barstool Barstool Combine.
Combine. So the Barstool Combine. I assume there's some people who are stoolies here. It was Hank's first day on the job, and Hank completely lied on his resume, like to an insane level where he was like, I know how to work everything. Like I can edit, I can do all this. And Gaz was our video editor at the time, not a video editor, basically handed Hank a camera and was just like, all right, go. And Hank was like, what do you mean go? And he's like, you said you could do all this. And it was Todd, me, Dave, and KFC out on a field. And,
backstory too.
Yeah.
Portnoy calls me up the night before. He's like, we're doing this stunt, right? And we're gonna try to have a Barstool Combine. And he's like, can you? Not like 3 weeks in advance. It was the night before. He's like, what? You got anything tomorrow afternoon? Can you come out to Dorchester?
Yeah.
Not a nice neighborhood. And he's like, bring your stopwatch, I guess. I don't know. Like, what do you? I'm like, yeah, Dave, I would bring a stopwatch. I'm like, do you have like, he's like, we're going to do like the vertical jump. I'm like, do you have like the stick? He's like, yeah, I think someone's running out to grab that at like Dick's Sporting Goods or something. I'm like, all right, well, here's the deal. Like one of our best friends growing up, Kalishman, right? It was a first high school baseball game where he's a head coach. And I was like, it's Cal's first game. We're all going to go support him. Like, we got to be done by like 4:00.
No.
Wake up that morning, it's like 106 degrees.
It was so hot.
And now I'm on a field, and we don't get started until like the third inning of that high school baseball game that I'm supposed to go to like 45 minutes away. And so I'm kind of pissed and annoyed. But then we got started, and it was literally the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
It was ridiculous.
Like, what were we doing? And who stuffed their shorts?
Probably me.
No, I think you did with your spandex.
I have a small penis, so it's probably me.
For effect, to make it look more like the guys in the combine. Yeah.
Sounds like me. But yeah.
But my point is, you've come a long way.
Yes, it was. And we did the whole thing, and I remember after, we had you there for like 6 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
And you turned to Dave after, and you're just like, listen, I've known you for my whole life. If you try to do this with anyone else, they're going to walk out.
Yeah.
Like, this is not going to work.
This is like your one.
Yeah.
This is your one.
We kidnapped you.
You did.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this, though, because it's a big hot topic in college football. And I'm guessing I know where you're going to go, but I want to know the why.
Okay.
Big Ten SEC.
Yes. How many SEC fans do we have here? Any? How many Big Ten fans do we have? Yeah. Okay. I got a good audience.
I'm glad you guys are on that.
Good luck, McShay.
Yeah.
Kiss ass.
Yeah, the Big Ten is going to dominate college football from here on forward. They have all the money. Listen, all I have to say is when Nick Saban gets out of football and then goes on a tour basically being like, it's not fair anymore, I think I trust Nick Saban. He knows what he's talking about. It's so much
Nick
money.
Saban retired from football because the Big Ten's getting too good?
Yes, because he knew he couldn't compete with the Big Ten. And I don't want to end up being one of these SEC football fans because my team is probably not going to be one of the competing teams. So I don't want to be like, Big Ten, let's go. I'm so pumped that Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon are winning all these championships. But I do think the dynamic has shifted. And now that you can pay players, the Big Ten schools are bigger. They have more money. It's harder to get into, so their graduates probably do a little bit better. Right, guys?
Here we go. Here we go.
Have you seen the number of people going down south right now?
It is true. Yeah, the shifting demographics are definitely interesting. I just think it's obviously the SEC is still going to be good. But I do think that it's a lot more even than it was for the last 15 years because, like, Larry Ellison can just cut a check for $12 million
True.
to Bryce Underwood, which is insane. Yeah, why are we clapping for Larry Ellison?
Let's go Oracle.
Once he gets divorced, the money's going to be gone. And then Dave took credit for that.
I mean,
Yeah. That's the worst, though, because Michigan fans, like, for the longest time, we do it the right way, Michigan, man, all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Don't pay
I
our
grew up the
players.
grandson of a
Then they
Michigan.
get then the Oracle CEO like hooks up with a chick and he's just like, yeah, I'll give $12 million to an 18-year-old.
I grew up the grandson of a Michigan man, and God rest his soul. My grandfather, most wonder. He's the reason I'm here today and what I do. But like, come on.
Yeah, come on.
I saw Bo Schembechler coming into the house with some people and some transactions so that he could recruit the Huron Sandusky area.
Right.
Like when it was,
Yeah.
I've known for the Michigan men, that thing.
Do you guys though think that like it's a real thing?
I think it's switching. I'm not sure. I think it's more balanced than it has been, and now it's tilting towards the Big Ten. I think getting Oregon is a huge win.
Yeah.
And whether or not you think that Saban left because of the Big Ten, Saban leaving has left a massive void in the SEC.
I agree with
Alabama was, you just counted on it every year, right? Like you just knew it was going to be Alabama, and now you don't. And with that void, and you got these Big Ten teams, Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah.
And then some of these other programs too. It's going to be – I mean, I was surprised how much – I saw Indiana's number. It was like $22 million or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Indiana's spending $22 million.
They got money. Mark Cuban. Do you guys buy into like Alabama's screwed? I should watch what I'm saying because Wisconsin's going to get smushed on Saturday. But
both things can be true.
Yeah, that's true. Like both things can be true. It's crazy to me watching that week 1 game, like the physicality that Alabama used to have,
the effort
that they just don't have anymore, and it went away so.
You know what's
fast.
interesting? Like sometimes you get the best information from like the side nuggets in the draft, and Tyler Booker. One of the reasons why everyone loved Tyler Booker in scouting circles in the NFL, and the reason a guard went that high in the draft, one of the reasons. Very good player, but he's a guard, right? And he's not like the most athletic guard, but he was the top 10 of all-time football character, tough guys, change your locker room at the guard position. But the story that came out that I kind of filed away was that it took Booker calling a team meeting with some coaches apparently in there and being like, I don't care, Nick's gone. We have a standard here, and we're not living up to the standard. And go on and on and on, and it got everyone riled up and it refocused the team. But why does he have to make that? You know what I mean? I always put that, and so I'm curious to see, because DeBoer's won everywhere he goes. In his second year, he won a national championship at Sioux Falls. Second year, Washington takes him to the national championship. This guy's a winner.
Yeah,
but it's not always the right fit.
And you know this better than anyone because you've traveled to all these schools. Like, it just is different at Alabama. It's different in the SEC in terms of the temperature. And, you lose one game to Florida State.
And it can be a great thing, but it can absolutely tear your program down. It's not rational.
Right.
And in the SEC, it's different. It is. Truly, it is.
Right.
And I grew up going to Michigan, Ohio State games. The rivalry, I have unbelievable, memories and respect for, and, it's burned into my DNA, right? Then the first time I went to Auburn, Alabama, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Right.
Am I safe?
Did you guys see the clip of the woman outside of a convenience store in Alabama playing the lotto? And she was just like, first thing I'll do if I win Powerball is $70 million to Kalen DeBoer and get him out. Yeah. That's where it's different.
Paul Feinbaum's one of the worst human beings in sports media.
Yeah.
And doesn't look the part. He's not this, he doesn't fit. But because people are so insane and it's so entertaining to see that, he's built
he opens the phone line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it.
So that should tell you just it's not really.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this, and this is interesting to me. And I'm a draft guy, obviously, but talent is talent. And if you really look at the history outside that, Cam Newton one year when there was 2 first-round picks with he and Farley, the defensive lineman, and nobody else went to the NFL. I mean, I went to that pro day and it was embarrassing. Guys were bad news bears.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's normally draft talent equates to you're going to be there at the end. Listen to these numbers. 2019 on 64 for the SEC, 40 Big Ten. 2020, 63-48, 65-44.
First round picks?
No, overall draft picks.
Okay, overall draft
Sorry. 65-48 in 2022. 63-55 in 23.
Yep.
24, it was 59. This is where it's important. 59 for the SEC. They've gone 19 straight years, by the way, had the most draft picks the SEC has. 59 for the SEC, 43 for the Pac-12.
Huh.
But now we, in the programs that that created that
Yeah,
43 are now.
Yep.
So the only two conferences that have like tried to put up a fight, and it wasn't a great fight, were those. But now you've merged them together. This past year, SEC still record-setting, most ever drafted by a conference last year by a long shot. 79 in the SEC, 71 Big Ten.
It's shifting. Yeah.
And I do truly think the top of the Big Ten right now is better. And I don't think it necessarily – I think it will go like this, up and down, up and down.
Yep.
And Alabama being down and Georgia's kind of like, are we sure? Are we back? Where's our quarterback? So there's some of that going on. But I do think it's going to be like this at the top, where the Big Ten's got to get better is programs like yours.
Yes.
And some of the folks here. Like, it's the middle. No, but seriously, that's the difference. You go to like Mississippi State's like the 13th best team, and they go smack or they go beat Arizona State. So that's where the difference is for me.
Yeah, and it's too bad because Wisconsin used to be that like second tier solid program, and it's been tough for.
So Illinois playing up.
Yeah, I mean,
Wisconsin starts to play up.
Yeah,
Iowa finds a quarterback or someone who can coach a quarterback.
I don't know if that's possible.
I don't.
I was gonna say like that's like it might just be when you put on the uniform you can't throw.
You know this quarterback, Gronowski, like
he's a great guy. He's a great kid.
He's a wonderful guy. Yeah. Beyond wonderful guy. He won 2 national championships, won the Heisman for the FCS, set every record. Like this guy could play quarterback, like could throw, run, all this. I popped in the tape the first 20 plays of that first Iowa game, getting ready for this week. And I'm like, oh no, he forgot how to play quarterback.
Yeah,
he's
the
like
jersey.
He's like
it's just the jersey. You put on the jersey,
something,
you hand it off, and then you punt.
So Northwestern, we got a home game this week.
Yeah, Northwestern, Oregon. We're doing Big Ten, Big Noon kickoff up there, and I had a so I was prepping for it because Dave's got his Pizza Fest, so I'm filling in for him. And I threw out the in the meeting before. I was like, they're like, what do you got for this game? Because it's on paper, it's not a great game. I was like, on paper, I think, and I've actually, for people who have listened to Pick'em for a long time here, I think that Northwestern, Evanston at 11 a.m. is the hardest place to play in the country. I think it's harder than Death Valley at night. I think it's harder than Happy Valley. I think it's harder than the Horseshoe. That is the toughest place to play.
And
Katz by 30.
The logic is sound.
And what research did you get to back that up?
So here's the problem. So I asked the Fox guy, I was like, can you do some research for me and figure out if there's actually something behind it? Give me ranked opponents going to Evanston early kick. So he sends me this long email. Wisconsin was on that email like 15 times. It was just like, this is why I think this is because my team always loses in this spot. But I do think there's truth to it because
coming from the West Coast.
Yeah, and on this call, or Coach Urban Meyer was on the call, and he backed me up. He was like, "This is what I call a break all the whiteboards game to try to get the guys juiced up before you go out there." A lot of these guys who are playing on Oregon, it's a 12,000 person stadium. They played in bigger high school games.
Yeah.
And it's 11 a.m. It's a weird time. It's sleepy. It can sneak up on you. But it's also like there's been a lot of close, I think it was maybe last year or the year before. Remember they had like Penn State was maybe up 7-3 or something.
Yes.
At half.
Yes.
It's like these weird starts where I don't know if Northwestern has the team, but the hardest place to play in the country.
All right. You got any other like Maction or picks you like this week?
Picks. Okay. You talk to me about the Florida LSU game real quick. I feel like I'm walking into a trap taking LSU.
I get the feeling.
I do too.
But they've won 5 of the last 6, I think. They've won the last 3 at home. It's a night game in Baton Rouge. We'll see what happens. I know what happened last year with Billy Napier kind of righted the ship, and I get all that. I think it's done.
You think it's done?
I think South Florida is the straw that broke the back of Florida. I really do.
And I also think I love South Florida's story. Golish, awesome. Like, they should be ranked number 1 right now if you're just going resumes.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Why not?
If we want to
just throw them in.
Yeah.
I have them number 1.
No. I mean, if we're doing resumes,
Why not?
Boise State?
They beat Boise and Florida. Who else has a better resume?
it's going to shake
I would
itself
say
out.
I would
So,
give
yeah.
the Miami win over Notre Dame more credit than both.
All
of
right,
those
and who
ones
they
together.
beat after that? Like Bethune-Cookman?
Yeah,
or something?
Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, right.
You're right.
So, all right.
I guess it gets settled 1 versus 2 this week.
Well, yeah. So this is my point: is I do think that Miami's going to kill them. I think
I do
this
too.
is where, and maybe you guys can tell me if I'm wrong in my analysis, but when you have a team like USF and they started like they started, eventually it does become the Jimmies and Joes, and it's the emotional toll of those 2 weeks going to Miami now, having to play another big boy. I feel like they're in for
The physical toll, too.
Yeah, the physical toll, right?
Well, you said this last week. You were just a week off on it. You said that South Florida beating Boise State woke Florida up. So, like, it made it an easier week of preparation for the coaching staff. It didn't pan out last week. But maybe it does this week for Miami. I think Miami, like, you can't overlook this game.
Right.
So
right. This team is if they win this game, they're the best team in Florida.
I love Duke plus 1.5.
Yeah,
I do
that's
too.
the craziest one to me.
I do too.
That something's wrong though. I look to see if Darian Mensah
It's the
was hurt.
Corso one, though, man.
Is
That
Mensah hurt?
makes me nervous. Like, somebody knows something. I'm going with the somebodies.
I know, because that Duke-Illinois game, Illinois pasted them. But if you watch the game, Duke just did everything to lose that game like a million.
And men's that
different
quarterback can play.
times. Yeah.
So
I like that pick as well. I think they're plus 1.5.
So you're going to make the softball game? We got to.
I don't know. Yeah, so I'm,
All right, let's
I'm
go.
in the softball
All
playoffs
right,
right now.
real
Shout out
quick.
the Pugs.
Playoff
Before
game?
Yeah.
Like what
Dude, what are you
position?
doing?
What's your batting?
I'm
Like,
pitching. I'm the oldest guy on the team by about 15 years. It's all guys.
you're
from
used to
my
that
office.
role in life now,
What's the
right?
team
Yeah.
name?
The Pugs. The
Pugs.
So, yeah, the Pugs. Shout out Pug. He's one of our producers on PMT. 99 Pug. Yeah, there we go. Pug doesn't play. He's not good enough. But no, we're and it's a tricky league because every game is a lot of pressure because the other sideline, like we got the arrow on our back. You know, we got the circle on our back because they're like, oh, here come the Barstool guys.
Well, you guys are Georgia. It's like you need the Gruden.
We don't
Did you get the
as
Gruden
good as
speech?
Georgia. Yeah.
Be
So-
their fucking nightmare.
Yeah, so it's I think it's 3 games tonight if we keep winning. So they played at 7. If I'm gonna look at my phone, see if they won, and then I'll go play.
Missed it?
Listen, Todd McShay asked me to come.
Oh, I feel
come.
bad. I thought we were getting you out of here on time.
If I gotta be honest, we haven't had the best season. Todd asked me to do this like a month and a half ago. I looked at the schedule. I was like, no way will we still be in the playoffs.
I appreciate you, man.
All right,
This has
yeah,
been
you
fun.
guys are the best. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. Or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.